Hi.
What are we talking about today then?
Talking about Davines, the SEO project we carried out over the last 2-3 years. So for context, Davines are a hair care brand. They are B Corp and they're also working towards regenerative beauty, so working more closely with farming professionals to make sure that all of the stuff that they use for their hair care is sustainable and doesn't have a dramatic impact on the land.
They're also very salon focused, so not many people, like consumers at home, don't really know about their products. So it's also been a part of our project to grow that aspect of the brand as well and make it a bit more professional hair care at home.
Yeah.
So they originally approached us because they were getting a lot of branded traffic, but not necessarily non-branded traffic. So our job was to expand the website and create pages to match key terms that users like us were searching. So we mapped out the new navigation with these new terms, new pages, started making all these new copy and pages, and then we worked on the technical side of the website.
Yeah.
The main challenge we had was hreflang, which Tom can speak about.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting technical project because they were international, so they had lots of different regions. They're all on subdomains, so fr.davines, us.davines. So we had to make sure that what we were doing wasn't going to affect other regions and what they were doing wasn't going to affect us. So there was things we had to think about from a business perspective, so the logistical side of things, how the website was set up, and what we could do and what we couldn't do with what we had. So there was lots of conversations around, how best to deal with hreflang, and we're not seeing the same effect from, France affecting us and us affecting France. So I think a lot of that was solved, and a lot of the optimizations that we did, the on-page stuff, the localization, that really helped Google to distinguish between the regions and make sure that there wasn't that overlap. That was a big turning point, was the UK subdomain ranked over the world subdomain, which was a big increase for us for branded and actually non-branded as well. So one of the big client goals was to try and grow their brand to become the place for regenerative farming. It was something that actually we're starting to see more and more now. I mean, we started looking at this a couple of years ago. The trends were coming, but they weren't really fixed at that time. But you can see other brands starting to talk about it. We could see other brands mentioning it in their copy, not just in the beauty sector, but all sectors. So it was something that I was going to say McCain was one. The advert was all about that, regenerative farming. So it was something that we wanted to jump on. I think that was one of our early strategy meetings, was to say, are we going to be the regenerative beauty brand in the next 5 years? And we're coming up to that, I suppose, as well. So there was a little bit of testing early on with those sorts of terms.
Yeah. We actually got to create a blog about it, which started ranking quite highly. But starting to see that growth in that area and people really starting to use their products and caring for the planet and their hair. So all that work has to lead to something at the end. So we did actually see massive growth within the first year. So organic revenue increased by 280%. Yeah. Would you like to expand, Tom?
It's obviously really important to show that growth and to show the return on investment, especially for a business that is only just looking at putting money into a service. Obviously we needed to prove that what we were doing was worth it, which is sometimes difficult, obviously, with SEO. But there's lots of things that we can do and there's lots of metrics that we can follow. So revenue is obviously one of them, but then obviously the growth in both branded and non-branded revenue. The kind of return on organic spend, or the ROOS, was around 900 to 1,000%. So looking at what they were putting in for our service versus what they were getting out. Yeah. And there was also things we could do saying, if this was your baseline revenue, what was you getting above that we drove? So it's kind of showing those different angles, proving to the stakeholders and the people that we worked with that what we were doing was actually contributing.
We use the tool Ahrefs to track our keyword performance. And when we were digging into creating this case study, we noticed that 4 years ago, the keyword pool was at around 250 keywords, and now today we're at 6,000 keywords, down to the pages that we created, obviously all the keywords that we put into the content, the blog optimizations, and then just general branded traffic increasing and non-brand traffic increasing. So I would say that as a win, Tom, wouldn't you?
Pretty big win. Yeah. So I think those results show that even with a modest budget, you can, as long as you invest in it over the long term, you can really see great results. So it's now more important than ever to have an SEO agency because Google is changing so much so quickly. There's lots of other search engines that are playing their part. When I first started a decade ago, it was really easy to hack the system. You could do sort of these black hat things that would, game the system. Really important now to be able to have that expertise to help and to navigate, to understand what's changing.
So it's good to revisit the project from start to present day because we still are continuing with our SEO work with Davines into the new year as well. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Lauren.
Back to work.